Hope everybody made their week amazing, because I do believe that you make your week. So let's get started. Guys, why do we go to network groups? The reason is not just to meet new people. It's ultimately to get a new client. So we are here to take and not to give. It's actually set up that way. How many people here feel comfortable to take something from someone? I'm definitely not. I don't know about you guys. My success has come by dealing with things head on, because it forces people to think. I believe that if I dance and sugarcoat it, I'll just keep you comfortable. And I really want to take you out of your comfort zone, because that's actually where all the magic happens. So the first thing we need to do is shift the way that we are approaching and meeting new people and build relationships with them. We have to change the way we think when we go to networking groups. And we can't just solely think that we're coming to get a client. It becomes, how can I give to the group so that I can enhance everyone's life in a better way? First impression matters. This is the first step. What happens when you first meet somebody? When we say, I do this or I do that, it's now all about you. But if you use the terms such as, I've been recognized to, or I'm hired to get, that is a third-party validation. And it doesn't sound that you are bragging or boasting. For example, you'll hear this a lot. I've been doing this for the last 20 years. I give excellent customer service. I'm the top attorney at this, or I'm the top real estate agent. This is bragging. No one likes it. So it's not about what you're saying. It's about what is the other person receiving. Again, it's about what the other person is receiving. Why is it that 97% of business cards that you get at a networking event go right into the trash can? Because the person receiving that card perceived you as a taker. I hope nobody takes that, badly. You're just trying to get something here. Here's my card. We're dumping on them what you do on a piece of cardboard. We have no interest in what they want, what their challenges are, what the problem that they have that they don't want, and the solution that they want that they don't have, or maybe they just can't find it. What's happening in their life? You're not interested in that. We are only interested in ourselves. And this is the message I want to bring out today. I know you're all lovely people. And like I said in the beginning, this is why I'm here. We know this is not the intention, but it's just the way that it's always been done. So I'm here to provide you some insights, how in under 17 seconds, you can completely change the paradigm of how others perceive you as a giver, which is the way you are anyway, versus being perceived as a taker. Because we're taught the wrong way about doing it, and it's just the way that we've been doing it since we started networking. So I hope you don't mind. This is going to be a little bit interactive today. I'm going to start by choosing 3 people randomly and ask you to just share with us, what do you do in 30 seconds? Remember, this is not a test. This is just, let's just do it and feel comfortable. So 30 seconds, please don't go over the limit. So I've just, randomly literally chose, let me start with Gail. Gail, what do you do? Are you there?
Sorry, I was on mute. So, okay, you stopped a second. Hi, Gail Robertson from, I'm with Gail now. I'm a marketing strategy guide, also a keynote speaker, and I'm focused on manufacturing and marketing and really encouraging more manufacturing people to get outside their comfort zone, tell their stories, and share all of the exciting parts of what's happening in manufacturing. I also moderate panels where I bring in various thought leaders and people from manufacturing, from various aspects, from people that are marketing in that world, as well as people that are actual manufacturers, to start connecting and sharing their knowledge to help promote marketing on the broader global network.
That is awesome. Thank you, Gail, for sharing. Leo, if I may ask you, what do you do?
Sure. I am a copywriter, and so I make marketing content for different businesses, focusing on commercial scripts, and also do branding consulting. And lastly, I help inventors take their ideas from like just an abstract concept to something they can start a business with or license out to a bigger company.
Awesome. Very nice to meet you, Leo.
Thanks,
and one more, Miriam.
I'm Miriam Haugen, and I'm a photographer, actually, so I do personal brand photography, but the main thing I focus on in this group is I am the marketing person for Creativity Hive, and we help videographers achieve massive post-production skills through teaching Premiere Pro and Adobe After Effects.
Pleasure to meet you all three. Thank you, Miriam. So the three of you have done exactly what you've been taught. And again, I'm getting out of your comfort zone, so please don't take this bad. Take this as a place where you're going to learn and make some amazing changes for the rest of your business life. How many of you are service-based businesses? You could just like raise your hand. And how many are you are consultants? Awesome. And are there anybody here that has a product-based business? Awesome. Thank you. All right. How many of you can get a client at will? Anytime you want, you can get a client or a lead or find people interested in your business. How many of you knew, if you knew a 17-second secret that will help you get a client at will, or at least a connection at will, that would make you basically kick your boots and jump up for joy? Well, the good news is I will share my secret sauce template with you because you are part of the Global Tea Break. And at the end, you're going to understand exactly how to master, how to become a master in networking in 17 seconds. And this is why we're all here. We want to meet new people. We want to get introduced to people they know, etc. Basically, we want clients. We are looking for leads. So let me introduce myself. My name is Nancy Baki. I've been recognized as a business acceleration strategist, and I'm a published author. Small businesses hire me to double and triple their net in less than 12 months. I help businesses find a minimum of $100,000 in recurring revenue in 45 minutes, all without spending an additional dollar in marketing or advertising. So they can make more money, have more time, and finally have a life. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to learn that $100,000 mistake that 97% of small business owners are making. And these 97% of businesses can't even tell another person what they do consistently. People never say the same thing. It changes up. When I'm here, I say this. When I'm there, I say that. It depends. You know, when I'm at this event, I will talk about this business. And when I'm at that event, I'll talk about that business. So they have no identity. But here's what it's costing them. Business owners would rather spend money on Facebook ad, Google PPC, instead of talking to people that are right in front of you every day. Now, don't get me wrong. I am definitely not saying that Facebook and Google PPC is not good at all. They actually work very well, as long as they're done well. But something that doesn't cost you anything but the time is networking. So what do you prefer? Do you prefer talking to a total stranger in a networking group, or putting an ad out and begging them to talk to you? So your 15, 30, 45, 60-second soundbite, I call it soundbite instead of elevator pitch, that same old word that we keep hearing. It's the most important skill you can develop because it's your market dominating position. Some may also know it as your unique selling proposition or USP. Now, what is a market dominating position? It's what separates you from your competition. It makes you stand out from the crowd so you can dominate your market because no one else is saying it the way you're saying it. For those that haven't read my book, I explain it more in depth, and you'll have the link in the chat. I've already done that and I'll repost that again. So your market dominating position starts with your interrupt. So it's the first thing you say when you meet a new person to show interest. It states the problem your prospect has and doesn't want. Excuse me. So think about it, it's just like you're watching a video. That first 2 to 3 seconds, you're gonna know if you're gonna continue watching it or not, right? It's the same thing when you meet someone. Then it's your engage. It's the next thing that is said. It's stating the promise of the solution that they want, but they don't have. Following is educate. It's the information that you're providing that presents evidence to your prospect, whether it's verbally or written, that presents to your prospect that you and your product and services are superior in every way to your competition. And you're always ending with an offer. The offer has to be so compelling and so irresistible that basically your prospect would be crazy to turn it down. Now, when you meet someone, they typically ask you, what do you do? They're trying to connect with you. People don't know what else to ask. So that's what they're going to try to do, is connect with you. When you answer that question appropriately, if they are a perfect client or they know somebody that would be your perfect client, and of course, because you answered them the right way, naturally, this is what they're going to ask you next. Wow, how do you do that? This is a predictable path to a client. If they're just hearing the same thing that they hear all the time, and I'm always giving the examples, I'm an attorney, I'm a real estate, it's just the same words. Here's what they naturally do. They will not completely pay attention to you. They're going to look at their phone, their email, they're going to do something to not show interest because you're just an ordinary, they heard an ordinary pitch like everyone else. Boring, no? I call it, it's like Charlie Brown, wah, 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 wah. So it doesn't sound like we want to stand out from the crowd. And when we hear those types of sentences, doesn't it sound like every other lawyer or real estate agent we've ever met sounds the same? And that's the problem. Again, they sound the same. There's nothing striking. There's no follow-up system. They're sounding like they're competitors. No differentiation at all, just plain boring. When your soundbite is so attractive, people want to reach out to you by LinkedIn, Facebook, a calendar link you've sent to them, a phone or Zoom call, or they even might want to go and get your free compelling information that you offered. This is just an example that I have from a past client. Meaning you're mentioning a problem that they have that they don't want. Mm-hmm. The solution they want, but they don't have, and you are a possible solution. And now, of course, you know, if you're taking them through that buyer's journey, which is a total other conversation, we don't have time for that today. But when you take them through that buyer's journey, now you're setting yourself apart and creating your own 17-second market dominating position, and they want to listen to you. What's important is to understand the psychology that's going on. So when somebody asks you, what do you do? They're asking you three things. First, they really don't know how to break the ice, but they want to get to know more about you. So they're asking you, what do you do? They're interested in knowing more. Why do they ask this question? They just don't know, again, what else to ask. And that's exactly how we're taught to actually do this. So it's an icebreaker. What they're doing is, again, they're showing interest and they want to know more about you. And there's something about that attracted them to want to know more. What you say next determines everything. It depends from them if you're a taker. It determines if they want to hear more, etc. You have 2 to 3 seconds to catch their attention. And if you say, I do this, and you start with the word I, it is perceived as selfish, and it is only about you. When you mention your accomplishments, you're now bragging and boasting. It's a turnoff. How many of you realize that even though, did you even ever think about that? Have you ever thought that when I use these words, that's that feeling that you're getting or that other people are getting, excuse me? When you use a third-party credibility or recognition or validation, you're saying things like, I've been recognized as a, or I'm hired to. They will automatically think of you as a professional. Basically, that means someone else is giving you the accolades and there's no bragging involved. All of a sudden, you're now someone that they're looking up to, so they want to know more. So I've been recognized as a business acceleration strategist, or I'm hired by business owners too. Now they know who you serve and who you are. To do what? Here's the problem that they have, but they don't want it. Excuse me. Here's the problem that they have, but they don't want. So giving an example of that part in my elevator pitch, to double or triple their revenue in less than 12 months without spending an additional $1 on marketing or ads. And by the way, we do this in less than 45 minutes. Now here's the solution that they want, but they don't have. So they can make more money, have more time, and finally have a life. I help them get clarity and confidence to fully start that conversation. In fact, this is again part of what I mentioned to them. In fact, I wrote my first book detailing the process. And by the way, if anyone wants a copy, just send me your name, email, and number, and I'll send you over a copy. Or you can give them your landing page or squeeze page link to download it for free. Where go to bescoaching.com where you can download it for free. The importance, it's not about what you do in 17 seconds. It's about if they ask you, how do you do that? You need to answer that question appropriately. And if not, you've lost their interest completely. How many of you turned on a video and in a few seconds, you've decided either you're going to continue watching it or you're changing channels? It's the same thing again here. When someone shows interest in you, people have a 4.5-second window to engage. And if you don't answer those things appropriately, you're going to miss that connection that intimate connection that allows them to basically feel that they're making that decision themselves versus you being the selfish one trying to sell to them. I hope this makes sense and you take it with a grain of salt. I hope you guys are learning here. So now they're going to ask you next, which is number 2. How do you do that? So again, this person is interested in knowing more about you. If this person is your ideal client or what you do solves their current problem, there are some magical words that's going to come out of their mouth. Really? Wow. How do you do that? That person just heard you do your kick-ass 17-second soundbite, and now they are so intrigued and interested because of how you answered. And now you have to, you explain how you actually do it. This is where you have to be ready for that answer. The way that I answer it, I'm in the process of writing my second book, and I'm looking for insights from industry leaders like yourself to be featured as a case study. And the best news is that any of the strategies that I show you that you implement, all the profits are yours to keep. Now that I have said something that is so interesting and intriguing, I have created a bigger opportunity to support someone, and the conversation basically goes from there. Now, most businesses are clueless of this connection. So what's important is to know how to write and master your 17-second soundbite. So the first thing is who you are and who you serve. Second is what you do. Third is what problem do you solve? And lastly, how do you solve it? Getting the attention of someone is the most important point. Remember, people that we meet, they have at least 10 other things on their mind. And this is how you can turn a quick hello into a promising business lead without trying to sell yourself. It has to be so irresistible and so compelling that your target market will want to communicate with you to know more. So just like your 15, 30-second television commercial that I keep coming back to, it's so catchy that the viewer will not want to change channels because they want to know more. Number 3, the last important point, sometimes you may not meet your target market, but they can introduce you to someone else that needs your services. We sometimes forget that. The way I think about it when I go networking or speak to anybody, everyone that I meet, I look at as a gem. They have their own sparkle, their own personality, their own uniqueness, their own ways, their own connections. And we only learn more by having that conversation with them. And by creating that relationship and building on that relationship, all we need to do is start a Zoom call for a virtual or face-to-face tea, coffee, or lunch together. And that's where it starts. Or like I said, you might meet somebody that might be a perfect joint venture where you'll refer business to each other, or maybe they'll know somebody else that could be a perfect alliance for you. So that all started by you meeting them and having them come to you to know more. Hope this makes sense to everybody. So remember, it's not all about you. The ultimate goal of a good soundbite is to build a solid business relationship. You need to have a way to engage with the other person and get them to talk about themselves. And you want to have that hook so that you can ask, how does that work? Because they want to know more. Remember, this is also about the best relationships and the best clients ever. They are on a person-to-person exchange where someone comes up to them face to face. They're reaching out, even if it's a total stranger. But if you look at it compared to cold calling or Facebook ads, where again, you're trying to convince them that you're the best at what you do, so do business with me. When they're right in front of you and you're looking into each other's eyes, whether it's on Zoom or face-to-face, they are asking you what you do. They've raised their hand and they're identified. What they want to know is if you can help them with that problem that they have that they don't want, and the solution that they are looking for that they don't have or can't find. And the last thing that I would like to do before I go into a question and answer, I want to call on someone that I've been working with, amazing person, and she has already had her 17-second soundbite prepared. And I want to know what you guys think. Nancy, what do you do? Nancy May?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I have to
There you are.
unmute myself.
Okay, got it.
Sorry.
No, I know you're probably looking for the, yeah, go for it.
So I'm recognized as one of the top global 10% of podcasters and advisors in the field of board governance. That expertise and attention to critical detail has led me to working with families who are struggling, going up against the big business and technical aspects of caring and providing for an aging parent or spouse. It's really tough to think that you're the only one who cares. And you're not, but you still feel that way. Most people are usually lost and afraid to question the authority in any kind of medical situation and struggle how to manage the emotional, physical, and financial aspects of that part of life. I teach and guide family caregivers on how to take control of this ever complex situation and to walk through that path with more dignity and grace, and quite frankly, money in your pocket, in your parents' pockets.
Wow, that's amazing, Nancy. And how do you do that?
I haven't gotten to that part.
Well, you know, I'll be honest, guys, she actually just answered it, but it's okay. We just like literally did it yesterday. We completed it. A little bit of work still to do, but that was awesome, Nancy. Thank you for coming out and doing that with us. So as you guys can tell, I'm very passionate about what I do. I could go on and on about this subject for hours, but because we only have a very short time frame, what I'm going to do is, like I mentioned in the beginning, because you're part of this group, I'm going to give you guys that exact template. You're going to get a few little easy to fill out pages and walk you through my exact step process so that every last one of you moving forward will be able to create yourself your own market dominating position, be able to deliver it within 17 seconds to get more prospects wanting to know more, so that they can create that, so you can create that massive success for yourself, and you will never miss out on any opportunity. Anyone, even if that person in front of you, like I said, is does not personally know you or is not interested, remember, they may know somebody. Just write your name and email, phone number. I'm being honest, I did have a landing page. I had some technical difficulties. So I did not want to deal with that this morning, but just write me your name, email, and phone number. I will email you that exact template complement. And a big thank you for each and every one of you guys. Thank you for your ears. Thank you for the invite. I love you guys all.